Dr. Jimmy Mehta, Madam. So first of all, I welcome to you, Madam, for the series. I welcome to the Chief Organizer of the World Record Series, Honorable Principal M. Ambedkar, sir. Then I welcome to all my colleagues from my college, Dr. Sanjay Kale, sir, Dr. K.N. Kadam, sir, Dr. Sudhir Garar, sir, Dr. Karar, sir, Vocational Supervisor Praveen Udge, sir. And lastly, I warmly welcome to all the participants, those who join regularly to the series. So today's topic for the presentation is coaching for specific tribological applications. So on this topic, Dr. Jimmy Mehta, Madam, is going to speak in details. Before the presentation, in short, I would like to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. Jimmy Mehta, Madam. She is an assistant professor from Manav, Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. So with this brief introduction, now I request the Honorable Mehta, Madam, please start your presentation on the topic coaching for specific tribological applications. Please, Madam, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the warm welcome, and hope I am audible enough.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Jimmy Mehta, and I'm from Faridabad. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering here in Manav Rachna Institute, and since 9 years. So I have done my PhD on the tribological applications only, and related to coating work. So here I would be sharing a little bit brief about the work I have done. So I'll just share the tab. I'll just share my PPT. Is it visible, sir?
Not yet, Madam. Yes, it's visible now. Yes.
So here, first of all, we'll be studying what the word tribology means. Tribology means the study of wear, friction and lubrication, all the three components on a workpiece together. Workpiece here means any manufactured product, any product that is having wear properties, that is occurring friction, and that is we are using lubrication to avoid wear. Wear is generally the loss of material when two surfaces are rubbing against one another. There are many types of wear, but generally when two surfaces rub against each other, there is slight distortion, means the surface of the top layer of any of the material gets distorted. There are some that is not might be visible with the naked eyes, but when you touch the element, you can feel there is not the smooth surface enough. So that is due to the loss of material, and that term is known as hair wear, right? So, and the second is friction, the resistance to this relative motion when two parts are in relative contact with each other. And to avoid this, we are using lubrication. Lubrication is the we use some viscous materials, lubricating oils to avoid any type of wear and friction that is occurring between the two elements that are in contact with each other. And the term tribology was coined in 1966, and it was defined as the science and technology of the interacting surfaces that are in relative motion with each other. Right, so tribology can be considered in many of the fields, not only just mechanical engineering, but any of the material that is in contact with any other material. A simple example would be a pen. What we say that टिक pen, you can normally say in your general language. उस pen में भी अगर आप देखें, then there is friction between the spring and the refill that we are putting in. So there are many examples where this not only in mechanical but various other parts, like suppose knife and the fruit. If the knife is not being used for longer time, it gets corroded. रस्ट जंग उस पर आ जाता है, तो उस चीज को अवॉइड करने के लिए, हमारा मटेरियल खराब ना हो पड़ा उस चीज को अवॉइड करने के लिए हम लोग उस पर कोटिंग करते हैं. जैसे सिमिलरली हम लोग अपनी नेल पेंट्स लगाते हैं. फॉर फीमेल्स इफ आई वुड से, जैसे भी हम अपने वॉल्स को पेंट करते हैं, राइट, उन्हें एस्थेटिक लुक्स देने के लिए, सो दैट इज कोटिंग. Now, how these are related, we'll discuss later. And now there are different types of wears. As I have shown in this slide, there is sliding wear, fretting, abrasive, erosive, fatigue, cavitation, adhesive. Number of types of wears are there, but generally what we observe is the abrasive wear. Abrasive wear is when the two particles, one is hard and one is soft material. When they are in contact with each other, there are some forces exerting on that, and then their wear occurs, right? So erosive wear is generally the erosion we have heard normally. Then is sliding wear when two materials are in contact, one slides over the other, like some plastic deformation is there, or some cracks are observed in the or in the workpiece. Then there is one is fretting wear. Fretting wear is generally the when small amplitude forces are there, means periodic forces, oscillatory motion is being targeted on the forces on the workpiece. So these are better examples. I have also here mentioned that these are observed where slidings, bearing, gears, then press fit parts, then turbines. Everywhere these all are mechanical components, and without these components, none of the machine is being operated in nowadays, right? So these types of wears are very common and are present in daily day wear also, daily in many other examples are like simple fan. अगर फैन में आवाज आने लग जाती है, जब हम उसकी स्पीड तेज या स्लो करते हैं, देन वी यूजुअली से कैपेसिटर फेल हो गया है इसका, राइट. तो उन चीजों को अवॉइड करने के लिए उन उस चीजों को, जो हमारी चीजें में रेगुलर मोशन में खराब हो जाते हैं, उसे हम जनरली वियर डिफाइन करते हैं. That is a progressive damage that involves the loss of material and the loss of material and loss of the top layer, in fact, of the material. And the second part is friction. There are a number of types of friction, but here the general three are the static, the sliding, and the rolling one. Static friction, when one surface is in contact, the other one is stable. Like जैसे अब हम कोई अगर बॉक्स है, उसे हम अपने सरफेस के ऊपर मूव करते हैं, राइट, तो हमारा जो बॉक्स का जो बॉटम लेयर है, दैट इज इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद द सरफेस, वो खराब हो जाता है, राइट. अगर स्लाइडिंग है, when both the products are in relative motion with each other, when one is moving towards left, other is moving towards right, right. Similarly, one is moving to the top and the other is sliding towards the downward side. So there is relative motion between each other, that one object is being forced to move due to other object in motion. And the third is the rolling motion. Rolling motion means when one of the part is rolling over the others, maybe fixed or maybe a sliding part. So at that point, only a line of contact is there. But in sliding and in no motion, sorry, we can see the whole surface is in contact with the other surface. But in rolling motion, there is only a line contact. So friction is the resisting force that resists the motion when two bodies are in contact with each other. And when these two materials are in contact, when the two elements are in contact with each other, definitely the wear occurs. And to avoid this both condition, the wear condition and the friction condition, we use lubrication. जैसे आपने अगर नॉर्मली सुना होगा, हम मशीन का तेल यूज करते हैं किसी भी पार्ट को सॉफ्ट किसी भी पार्ट को स्मूथली रन करने के लिए. हम लोग जैसे दरवाजे की जो लॉक्स होते हैं, दरवाजे में जो हम लोग नॉर्मली व्हाट वी से हियर इज कुंडी, राइट. तो अगर हम उसे थोड़ा सा वो हार्ड हो गई है, उसे अगर हमें थोड़ा सा स्मूथ ऑपरेशन करवाना हो, तो व्हाट वी यूज इज ऑयल. ठीक है, तो ऑयल हम लोग यूज करते हैं टू रिड्यूस द फ्रिक्शन बिटवीन द टू पार्ट्स दैट आर इन रिलेटिव मोशन. दैट टर्म इज नोन एज lubrication. Lubrication is just like an oil with high viscosity. ठीक है, उस जैसे हमारी विस्कोसिटी होती है, वो हमारी स्मूथनेस, वो हमारे दो ऑपरेटिंग पार्ट्स को हेल्प करती है, सो दैट देयर इज नो wear and tear, there is no loss of material. So lubrication is the process or the method that is being employed to reduce wear and in both the objects that are in relative motion with each other. And the oil or the जिसे हम लोग grease use करते हैं. The most common example of lubricant is a grease. आप लोगों ने भी सुना होगा ग्रीस जैसे चिप मीन्स सेमी सॉलिड टाइप ऑफ थिंग होता है, बट वो हमारे ल्यूब्रिकेशन का काम करता है। तो ऐसे ही मतलब जहाँ पे अप्लाइड लोड ज्यादा हो, प्रेशर ज्यादा हो, two opposite surfaces are in contact with each other, but they are unable to move. That is known as lubrication that helps. So lubrication can be termed as four parts. First is the fluid film or the boundary lubrication. जैसे हम लोग जब हम तवे पे रोटी बनाते हैं, what we do is we apply a little bit of ghee on that, right? Either oil or ghee we apply, just so that there is no um, अगर रोटी तवे पे हमारी चिपक जाती है, then there is wear and tear of the surface, right? So most common example is हम लोग oil use करते हैं so that it softens and smoothens the surface of the tawa, and then we can apply roti on that, right? So it can be a boundary lubrication, hydrostatic, hydrodynamic. That is, hydrodynamic is a thick film that is being applied, and hydrostatic is a thin film. And extreme pressure, where high pressure is being used to apply the lubrication between the two surfaces that are in contact with each other, right? So these are the four types of lubrication we can employ depending upon our requirement. Now there are surface irregularities. This, as we discussed earlier, that on the surface, while the two components are being in contact, while the two components are in contact with each other, the two surfaces get they get cracks and get voids or get humps in the surface, but that is not visible to naked eyes. वो हम अपनी आंखों से ऐसे नहीं देख सकते, बट अगर हम उसे टच करें वी कैन फील दैट देयर आर सम क्रैम्प्स इन दी सरफेस। तो वो कैसे आते हैं? अगर हमारा कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग या प्रोडक्शन का प्रोसेस है तो हम टर्निंग, ग्राइंडिंग, पॉलिशिंग की वजह से हम उसे ठीक कर सकते हैं। अगर कोई हमारा मटेरियल का स्ट्रक्चर है देन दैट कैन बी ब्रिटलनेस और एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर जिससे हमारा हर एक एलिमेंट का अलग अलग एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर होता है उससे। एंड अगर यूज कर रहे हैं हम सरफेस को तो वियर हो सकता है, रनिंग इन हो सकता है, एंड कोरोजन। रनिंग इज द टाइम कि हम अगर हमारा मटेरियल रेगुलर कांटेक्ट में है विदाउट एनी रेस्ट, हम अपने कंपोनेंट को रेगुलरली यूज कर रहे हैं। जैसे अगर आपके लैपटॉप का माउस है, राइट, हम लोग सम पीपल यूज दैट कीपैड माउस, सम पीपल यूज दैट एक्सटर्नल डिवाइस दैट इज माउस। तो अगर हम माउस को आप रेगुलरली टेबल पे यूज करेंगे देन इट विल गेट वियर्ड आउट, राइट। बट अगर आप उसे किसी जैसे माउस पैड जो आता है अगर आप उस पर यूज करेंगे तो वो थोड़ा सा सॉफ्ट एंड थोड़ा सा स्मूदन सर्फेस रहेगा। मीन्स व्हेन यू आर कंटिन्यूअसली यूजिंग दिस सर्फेस फॉर अ longer duration, then that gets worn out. So that is also a type of wear only. And corrosion, जैसे हमने rust सुना है, जंग सुना है, पड़े पड़े चीजों को जंग लग जाता है, राइट। अगर किसी भी मेटल का पार्ट है, किसी भी आपका कोई भी मेटल है, कोई भी आपका सर्फेस एक्सेप्ट प्लास्टिक, वो चाहे फेरस मेटल्स हो या नॉन फेरस मेटल्स हो, दे गेट टोन्ड आउट, दे गेट कोरोडेड। तो उस कोरोजन को हमारे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट्स में हमारे पास नंबर ऑफ इन्वेंट्रीज पड़ी होती है। इन्वेंट्रीज को भी, इन्वेंट्रीज इज स्टॉक ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल, राइट। तो वो स्टॉक ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल को जो एक्स्ट्रा स्टॉक में रखा है वो ही पड़ा पड़ा खराब हो जाता है, चीजों को जंग लग जाती है अगर वो ज्यादा टाइम तक यूज ना हो, राइट। तो दैट इज कोरोजन। एंड अगर हम रेगुलरली यूज ना करें सर्फेस, ज्यादा यूज करें देन दैट गेट्स वोर्न आउट, दैट इज टर्म्ड एज वियर। अगर हम ना यूज करें दैट गेट्स कोरोडेड। So now that there is a term called surface engineering, how these surface irregularities जो है, जो भी हमारा clean smooth surface नहीं है, उसे हम उसकी जो भी हमारी modifications हो रही हैं उस स्टडी में, जो भी हमारे changes हो रहे हैं हमारे surface की, as in to अगर हमारा कोई cuboid surface है, right, if there is any shape of surface, just the top layer जो हमारा contact में है, only that gets worn out। बाकी जगह लेट्स सपोज क्यूबॉइड है, क्यूब है, रेक्टेंगुलर पीस है, व्हाटएवर इट इज, ओनली द टॉप सरफेस गेट्स corroded, only the top surface gets worn out, otherwise the whole structure of the component remains the same। अगर आप नाइफ का एग्जांपल लें, अगर आप पेन का एग्जांपल लें, पेन में सिर्फ हमारा जो निब है, निब जो हमारा पेपर के साथ कांटेक्ट में है, ओनली दैट गेट्स worn out। otherwise जो हमारा पूरा proper pen है, that doesn't get thrown out, right? So that is the fact that the surface engineering is the term where the modification is being observed in the structure or in the properties of a component, right? Due to that can be achieved, we can improve that surface properties also, and that surface properties get degraded also with time. We can improve their performance, we can enhance their surface, we can improve their efficiency effectively, but at the same time we can also improve their durability, means they can be used for longer time also. So that can also be a term as a surface modification, right? So surface modifications can be observed in almost every field. For example, I have mentioned here a few like friction and wear control. The obvious reasons we are discussing: corrosion resistance, thermal protection, decorative things. Then comes the sensors and transducers. There is data storage also. Then
Madam,
there is
you are
optical
on the
device.
first, excuse me, you are on the first slide of tribology.
Hello.
You are on the first slide. You
No,
are
sir.
on,
I'm on the sixth slide.
no, no, no. You go to sixth slide because you are seeing, but we are not able to see. Please click on sixth slide.
Is that visible,
Surface
sir?
engineering.
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay,
discussing this slide,
okay.
the
You can.
seventh slide.
If it's not changed, I will inform you.
Okay, right, sir. So, I was discussing the surface engineering part, and that is being observed in all the devices: electronic devices, electrical devices, sensors, transducers, optical devices. Everywhere, surface engineering, that is the modification of the top layer of the surface that is being contact. Just this the engineering word here implies to improve its durability, improve its performance, improve its efficiency, improve its efficacy for the particular work they have been employed. Let's suppose a pen is there, pen's life is till the refill is being refilled, right? जब तक refill है तब तक pen की life है. As soon as the refill finishes, the pen get we used to throw it, right? So that is the service life. एक टूल की भी एक सर्विस लाइफ होती है सिमिलरली. एक टूल को अगर आपको लॉन्गर टाइम तक उसे बचा के रखना है तो उसकी सरफेस को जो टॉप लेयर है दैट इज इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद द वर्क पीस, हमें उसे विद टाइम टू टाइम चेंज करना होगा. So that is being done using the coating technology, right? So there are number of coatings. Coating क्या है? Basically the coating is to provide the aesthetic value and longer life. Aesthetic value means the decorative part. Let's suppose we are using aesthetic value. अगर हम flower pot है या let's suppose हमारा घर है, right? घर में cemented walls उतनी अच्छे से नहीं अच्छी लगती जितनी हमें कलरफुल पेंटेड डेकोरेटेड विद वॉलपेपर्स वो वॉल्स अच्छी लगती है, राइट? हमारा पेंट करने का दो मकसद है, हमारे दो रीजन है हम लोग अपने वॉल्स को पेंट करें. वन इज उसे डेकोरेटिव, उसे एक इम्प्रेसिव लुक देना, एंड सेकेंडली उसे लॉन्गर लाइफ देना, राइट? अगर हम लोग नेल पेंट्स लगाते हैं या हम लोग किसी भी चीज को अगर हम पेंट करते हैं तो उससे लेट्स सपोज अगर हमारा आप कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट ले लीजिए, कोई भी ड्राइंग्स बच्चे बनाते हैं, उससे अगर आपको लॉन्गर लाइफ देनी है तो उसे हम एक कवरिंग देते हैं, एक शील्ड प्रोवाइड करते हैं जिसे हम लैमिनेशन करते हैं. डॉक्यूमेंट्स को हम अपने लैमिनेट करके रखते हैं. दैट इज ऑल्सो एन आउटर कवरिंग. आउटर कवरिंग इज द कोटिंग ऑफ द सरफेस. अगर आपको अपने मटेरियल को लॉन्गर टाइम तक यूज में रखना है, उसे लॉन्गर टाइम तक उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज को इनहांस करना है, then that is known as surface coating technology. Means surface को हम coat कर रहे हैं using different processes. There are number of processes being available in the market right now just to avoid the just to provide the longer service life, longer working duration of any component that is being used. So surface coating here changes the surface chemistry without any change in the mechanical properties of a component. Surface coating just एक layer है, एक पेंट की, एक कोटिंग की, उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज को इनहांस करने के लिए. इंस्टेड वो उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज को रिड्यूस नहीं करता है. स्पेशली मैकेनिकल प्रॉपर्टीज लाइक स्ट्रेंथ है, हार्डनेस है, टफनेस है, इलास्टिसिटी है, वो मैकेनिकल प्रॉपर्टीज जो कंपोनेंट की थी दे रिमेन एज इट इज. It's just the surface chemistry उसकी change हो रही है, right? After the binding properties of proteins or the other molecules to improve this device performance. Means overall performance is being improved using this coating, but the properties are not being affected at all. Right? These surface these coatings जो हम ये कोट कर रहे हैं, ये हम कोई भी केमिकल्स किसी भी तरह से हम यूज कर सकते हैं, अलॉयज यूज कर सकते हैं, हम लोग कॉम्पोजिट मटेरियल्स यूज कर सकते हैं just to provide the coating. Generally, अगर हमें wear को avoid करना है, तो best coating what we use is the titanium की हम use कर सकते हैं, हम chromium use कर सकते हैं, हम स्टीलाइट यूज कर सकते हैं. जैसे अगर आपने लेथ मशीन सुना हो, लेथ मशीन में हम लोग कार्बाइड टिप्स लगाते हैं. इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग माइल्ड स्टील का टूल, हम लोग कार्बाइड, जिसपे कार्बाइड की कोटिंग हुई हुई है, कार्बाइड प्रोवाइड दी लॉन्गर लाइफ टू दी
नाही नाही
मटेरियल,
नाही सर, ते
मेटल
उशीर झाला मला
हार्डनेस
सुरू
प्रोवाइड
करून
करता है,
द्यायला.
टफनेस प्रोवाइड करता है, बट हमारे मेटल की प्रॉपर्टीज को सिर्फ इनहांस करता है. इट इज नॉट प्रोड्यूसेस एनी ऑफ
हां
दी
हां.
प्रॉपर्टीज. सो द
नमस्कार नमस्कार मॅडम.
कोटिंग आर यूजली कोटिंग जो है हम एक सबस्ट्रेट, जो वर्कपीस मटेरियल है हम उसे सबस्ट्रेट मटेरियल कहते हैं, उसके ऊपर
कोणते?
हम जो कवरिंग करते हैं उसे हम कोटिंग
अच्छा
कहते हैं.
अच्छा अच्छा, बरं
पर्पस
बरं
कैन
बरं.
बी डेकोरेटिव एंड फंक्शनल. डेकोरेटिव एज आई सेड एस्थेटिक वैल्यू, एंड
हां, म्हणजे
फंक्शनल टू इंक्रीज द प्रॉपर्टीज,
कॅश
राइट?
प्रमोशन होतं का?
एंड कोटिंग हम लोग
काय
पूरे
प्रोसेस सर भारी
ओवरऑल
राहतो त्याच्यात, होऊन
मटेरियल
जातं
पे,
ते काय?
ओवरऑल वर्कपीस पे भी हम अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, या हम सिर्फ सम पार्ट्स ऑफ द जो कॉन्टैक्ट में है सिर्फ हम उन पार्ट्स में कोटिंग कर सकते हैं एज पर अ रिक्वायरमेंट. जो हमारी इंडस्ट्रियल कोटिंग है वो नॉन स्टिकी होती है, अब्रेशन
हां, हां,
रेजिस्ट
हां,
करते
हां,
हैं.
हां.
अब्रेशन इज द टाइप ऑफ अगेन अ वियर, एंड केमिकल प्रोटेक्शन दैट इज कोरोजन. केमिकल प्रोटेक्शन जो हमारा फेरस, और फेरस
नाही,
इन द
थोडंसं
सेंस
मला
कि
फोन केलं,
जो हमारा कोरोजन हो जाता है,
फोन
या
केला असतो ना
जिंक
थोडंसं,
की
लगेच
वजह से
फोन सांगितलं असतं,
गैल्वेनाइजेशन
गप्प बसा
जिसे हम
फडणीस
टर्म
साहेब,
करते हैं,
पुण्य
तो
बाकीचं
उन
बघून
चीजों
गेली
को
ते
रिड्यूस
म्हणलं
करने
असतं.
के लिए
तुम्ही
हम
कशाला बोलला?
इंडस्ट्रियल कोटिंग अप्लाई करते हैं. इंडस्ट्रियल कोटिंग पे हमारे बहुत तरीके की हो सकती
बघा
है.
त्यांचं
आई हैव
काय
लिस्टेड
परिस्थिती
हियर
मला
जस्ट
माहिती आहे ना, तर तुम्हाला सांगावं कशाला
few.
उघड करून.
One is the conversion coating, that
हां,
is
मी आपलं बाहेर
oxidation,
गेले की माणूस काहीतरी
anodizing.
शहाणपणा
Then
करतो,
it
त्यांचं मला
can be
सगळंच माहिती आहे ना.
then it can
एक
be
वाक्य मराठी शुद्ध लिहिता येत नाही,
nitriding also. Then it can be
शुद्ध बोलता येत नाही.
anything. थर्मल कोटिंग जैसे कार्बोराइजिंग है हमारा, फ्लेम स्प्रेइंग है, आर्क वेल्डिंग हो सकता है, या हमारा गैस वेल्डिंग के थ्रू हो
तुम्हाला
सकता है.
सांगू
देन आर द
का,
मेटल कोटिंग दैट आर
तुम्हाला
इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल,
सांगू का,
इलेक्ट्रोप्लेटिंग,
इकडे
राइट?
जीबी बचत,
इलेक्ट्रोड्स
इकडे
भी
हा
हम
माणूस
यूज
सह्या
कर
करायला
सकते हैं, दैट
पटोळा
इज
घेऊन
एनोड
शिव्या
एंड
खाल्लेला आहे
कैथोड
माझा.
की
आज
तरह.
सही घेता का म्हणलं. आम्ही मूर्खासारखे
Sorry.
आधी तुमचं
Then
सगळं
there are
तयाऱ्या
some
उजेडीला करून
deposition
ठेवलं.
technique जो आजकल
फारच विचित्र
currently
आहे, त्या
in
बोलूच नाही
trend
आता
है.
फोनवर सुद्धा त्या
Currently in
गोष्टी,
trend
इतकं
means
विचित्र व्यक्ती आहे.
these all the types which I have discussed earlier, they have been used to
आता
a
काय
large
सर, कुठला
extent,
तरी आधार
but
असतो
now
त्यांना, पण
these
तरी बी ते कसं
deposition
माहिती आहे का,
coatings
मला
are
भीक राहते ते नुसतं
somewhat new,
थोडंसं मला
not
बघितलं असं
somewhat
त्यांचं
new,
नाव आणि इथूनच मी
but
काळ करून पाठवून दिली
not
असती.
somewhat new, but being used from over 3 to 4 decades.
इथून
But
कुमारस्वामीचे कुणी
these
प्राध्यापक असले
physical
सब्जेक्ट असले,
vapor and
मला हक्काने
chemical
फोन
vapor,
करायला सांगा,
these
कुणाला त्यांचं
created a
काय ते.
revolution in
हां,
the coating processes.
तुम्हाला शुभेच्छा.
Revolution in the
काही
sense
काळजी
they
करू नका,
changed the
सगळे
whole
अजून कुठं
scenario.
सहीला लागलं तर मी
Physical vapor and chemical vapor, these are
त्याला
the
काय अर्थ आहे एवढं
depositions
रडत
on the
फिरण्याला. आपण एवढं
substrate
चांगलं काम
material
करतो ते
using
कोण
frame
अडवणार आहे.
models.
सगळं
These
आपली
can
सगळं
be
जेव्हा आपली
detonation gun
पात्रता
coatings,
होती
these can be
प्राचार्यगिरीला.
high velocity oxy fuel, these can be cold sprays, these can be anything. So these
होय होय होय.
are currently in trend, and number of industries, manufacturers are using
मला
these
माहिती आहे ना
techniques,
मॅडम, की सगळं
right?
तुमचं चांगलं. बरं हे
And
बघा,
then there can
कुठल्याही
be
गोष्टीचं
organic
कॉलेज लेवलमध्ये जे
means
होतं पुन्हाच
we
पद्धत
use
जातं ना.
some
ही
natural
सगळं
materials
फॉर्म्युले
to
मी
coat
सांगतो
our
मॅडम, हा कॅश
products.
प्रमोशन हाच एक
Then there are
महत्वाचा
the
भाग वाटतो.
coating
त्याचं कारण
techniques
माहिती आहे का,
again. Then there
पहिलीचा
are some,
माणूस दुसऱ्या
as I
तिसरी पातळीत
discussed
नाही.
earlier, then there are
तुम्ही
some
जेव्हा
traditional
असिस्टंट
and
प्रोफेसर भेटला तेव्हा
well-established
एक वेळेला
process like
प्रमोशन द्या, किती काम करता
painting,
येते
which
तुमच्याकडे
I
काय
discussed
स्किल्स
here, the
महत्वाचे सांगा.
conversion
कसं
coating,
करता ते.
painting here, electroplating here, galvanizing, that is coating of zinc, then nitriding, carbonizing, etc. Then comes the technologically advanced processes जो हमारी aesthetic, alkali and functionally दोनों तरह से हमारे प्रोडक्ट की लाइफ एक्सटेंड करना है, वर्किंग लाइफ, सर्विस लाइफ, एंड हमारा जो है इसमें कोई कंटामिनेशन नहीं है, कोई इम्प्योरिटी नहीं है, and plus the performance factors also matter. So these are three. One is the chemical, one is vapor deposition, and the other is thermal spraying technique. So here in the diagram also I have listed just a few of them, but number of them exist in the market right now. And depending upon the various components being used, these can be used anywhere as per the requirement and the need of a manufacturer. So coating techniques, here I have explained a little. Paper deposition, its major application includes the electronic industry since its thickness is between 1 to 10 micron meter, right? So it is very thin layer. It can be, it has to be applied physically using atoms, ions or molecules of the coating, and that is being applied on the substrate material, the base material, the material on which coating is to be applied. That is known as substrate material or the base material. Then comes the chemical vapor deposition process. It is a very thin film process, and its applications include generally here the semiconductors, the sensors, and where high efficiency but thin layers of coatings are being required. Here in this, the volatile precursors is the precursor is the substance that is precursor that reacts very highly, and that decomposes on the substrate material, that and so as to provide a very thin film, very thin. Then next comes the thermal spray deposition process. Thermal spray in which any of the metal can be used, either metallic or ceramic or an alloy, and then it is deposited on a substrate material. Then this is the
असू दे
process
झाले
being
मॅडम
generally
शुभेच्छा
used
छान आता
nowadays
पुढे अजून तुम्ही
by
आता
major of
असोसिएट
the
झाले का
industries, as this has many
प्रोफेसरला शुभेच्छा
applications.
छान
Almost
तुम्हाला हे तर झालंच
all tribological
ओके मॅडम
applications are nowadays using thermal
थँक्यू
spray deposition. Thermal spray deposition processes are varied. One is the detonation gun, then is high velocity oxyflame, then is the high velocity acetone flame, then is the wire spraying, then is the arc spraying, cold spray methods. Number of methods are there depending upon the type of application and type of availability. And the third most important factor to use the thermal spray is the cost. Here, economics also play a role because these coatings are overall in India only 4 to 5 places like Jodhpur, one is in Noida, one is in Bangalore. Means only 4 to 5 places are there all over India that provide these types of coatings. So, if your industry is near around these places, these are reasonable to you. But if you are living far away from these places, then courier charges, taxing, or the work needs to be done, the quantity is to be done, that matters a lot. So depending upon the availability of the coating process, depending upon the requirement and the cost, these coating processes can be used. And the applications are, as I said, all over the industry. But to list a few, it is boiler components, compressor components, and N numbers. Now, these tribological applications, as the title suggests, so there are different types of tribology. It has been divided into 6 categories. One is the classical tribology, the machining equipment that I was just discussing, the industrial part. Then is the biotribology that consists of the cosmetic products. Even these are, you won't believe, these are also coated projects, objects. Then comes the green technology, the renewable energy resources, the self-lubricating mechanism, self-healing mechanism, जो हमारे टिश्यूज सेल्फ हील हो जाते हैं, राइट? डॉक्टर सजेस्ट कि कोई बात नहीं, अपने आप लिगामेंट, अपने आप मसल हील जो वो अपने आप हील हो जाएगा. That is green tribology, means there is self-lubricating process of the knees, of the ankles, जो उसे रिपेयर करने में अपने आप हेल्प करते हैं. Then comes the nanotribology, just जो include करते हैं biosensors, so drug delivery, not in the sense of drugs, but in the sense of medicine. Even जो आप लोग medicine खाते हैं, हम लोग all over India, number of people eat medicines due to X, Y or Z reason. तो जो medicines हैं, capsules हैं, they are not red, blue, yellow, green or in color. They are being coated. And if you read the prescription, read the backside of the tablet, you can see it will be written coated with this thing, coated with this thing, keep not to be kept in direct sunlight, keep in refrigerator below the temperature of 5 degrees or something. So these medicines are also being coated, right? So these are not coating is not as harmful as we think of, but it can be sometimes useful also. So nanotribology also includes micromachinery, nanomachinery parts, or the development of smart materials. Nowadays, everything is becoming smart, and and so are the materials also. These are also termed as smart materials. So next is tribotronics. Tribotronics is the components related to bearings, the gears, the sensors, the intelligent system, artificial intelligence system, the actuators being used in them, the codings being used in them. That is known as tribotronics. Then comes this space tribology that is related to tribology of the solar panels, the solar rails, the wheels and the electric motors being employed using solar energy. Then here come some of the major revolutions. Major revolutions, as I discussed, since 2000 we are being using. We can read here. We are using green tribology. We are using tribotonics. Means somewhere here we have used thermal coating instead of using physical spray or the vapor spray technology, right? So, since 1970, the first revolution came in the industry, that was the steam engine, and the studies of tribology were using the Coulomb's friction law, right? Then, after one century, 1850, 1950, and since 2000, our system have been updated a lot. So, to list a few, there are many tribological applications like the oil rigs are there. There are number of applications, machining components, new and repair means the new components need to be quoted, the old ones need to be repaired and maintained with time. So that जितना हमारा चेंजिंग ऑफ मटेरियल चेंज होगा, टूल में हमारा टाइम लगेगा, उससे ज्यादा हम उसे रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, उससे बेटर हम उस टाइम सेव लेबर सेव करने के लिए हम अपनी चीजों को रिपेयर कर सकते हैं. So that includes machining components also, right? So digging of drills, all the tools, milling machine tools, lathe machine tools, in fact all the machinery, that is a tribological application. आपने जब घर नया बनता है, राइट, जेसीबीज आती हैं, जो सीमेंट जिसमें हमारे सीमेंट की स्लरी मिक्स होती है, कंक्रीट मिक्सर हम जिसे टर्म देते हैं, उसमें जो हमारे ब्लेड होते हैं वो भी वेयर आउट हो जाते हैं, वो भी हम EN31 स्टील के लगाते हैं, राइट. आजकल बोरोन स्टील ट्रेंड में है, बोरोन के साथ कॉम्पोजिट मटेरियल्स, नैनो कॉम्पोजिट, पॉलीमर मटेरियल्स ट्रेंड में. बट दीज और ऑल्सो ट्राइबोलॉजिकल एप्लीकेशन, जहां जहां पे वियर होगा, फ्रिक्शन होगा ड्यू टू मटेरियल्स, जहां पे हमें लिब्रिकेशन की जरूरत पड़ेगी, means they all three are linked to each other. That is a tribological part. Now, tribology and industry. If everyone is using 4G, 5G, 6G, then why can't tribology? So, the first term to be highlighted here is tribotronics and this cyber physical system. The system using sensors, actuators, the computer parts. The sensors need to be coated. The sensors are also being corroded. The sensors are also being worn out. राइट, जिसे हम कहते हैं हमारा फोन जो है आजकल वाटर प्रूफ फोन आ रहे हैं. So means there is a coating that avoids water to go inside the particular parts of your phone, right? आजकल waterproof phones आ रहे हैं, लैपटॉप से भी ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजीज हो रही है. तो वो सब चीजें जो है दैट इज अ डेवलपमेंट इन द इंडस्ट्री, दैट इज अ डेवलपमेंट इन ट्राइबोलॉजी. तो देयर वेयर देयर इज अ मटेरियल, ट्राइबोलॉजी इज इन्वॉल्व. तो ट्राइबोलॉजी को हमें रेगुलरली मेंटेन करना है सो दैट देयर इज नो फ्रिक्शन, देयर इज नो वियर and no requirement of lubrication at all. We have to maintain that, we have to monitor it, and diagnose it is we have to instead of changing the part, it's better to diagnose the problem, to recognize the problem, where what the problem is, where the problem is, and to solve it, rather than every time changing the component, every time buying a new component is not the option. Sometimes repairing and maintaining it for long term is also an option. So here we can detect the possible problems and reduce its down and the related cost. At the end of the day, what matters is the cost. So we can reduce the cost also. Cost may be labor cost, So component cost, the efficiency cost, whatever it is, right? Cost is everything. So then comes the energy saving. If we are using the proper products are wear that are wear prone, that are uh, free from friction, we can save at least about 23% of the energy consumption. Right? Energy consumption is mainly in transportation and manufacturing, power generation and residential too. So transportation and manufacturing are the major contributors, and we need to get these both uh, free from tribology at the designing stage, at the very initial stage when the model of a workpiece is in our mind. We are using many tools nowadays. We are using many softwares nowadays just to check the properties of the material. Like, for example, we are using ANSYS, we are using Clio and CADIA. So, if we are designing a product, starting from AutoCAD, we are designing a product, we can also check if the product is made up of aluminum or if the product is made up of mild steel, what would the properties would be. So as per that, according to those softwares, those applications can be developed here. So next come again the tribology in industry 4.0 is being continued. Tribology in manufacturing, in engineering technology, and new materials that are being developed using nano coating, using composite materials, using nano composite materials, using micro materials also. So that can be anywhere. Then tribology and big data. Tribology and big data means there is a lot of data being available, and while using that data, the tribological data, for instance, friction coefficient and wear data that are already existing. Let's suppose in India we are manufacturing a machine, and same in Germany. So there can be data can be same also, data can be varied, but that data if exists in the database or in the network, that has to be removed. So tribology is also related to big data where number large databases being available. Then comes the human machine interaction, and the last is robotics. Robotics, we are studying robotics and automation, robotics and mechatronics. So robot is made up of sensors, mechanical parts, and nowadays robots are everywhere. So there is a human interaction in between with the robots, with the how the work is to be done, when is the work to be done, and robots, since they are also again the machining part, so they also get worn out, they also get torn out. So they also need time to time interaction with the interference and interaction. So there are many parts, almost everywhere as discussed here includes tribology. So to avoid every problem, the machining part has to be coated. We are here talking about only the machining parts, right? So machining parts need to be coated, and there are a number of coatings that are being available, like silicon dioxide is there, you can use chromium, you can use titanium, you can use nickel chromium as a combination, like you can use calcium carbonate, you can use steelite, any depending upon the requirement, depending upon the availability and the cost. You can use any of the coating materials for your product. So here polymer coatings are also being polymers, आप लोगों ने सुना होगा monomers वगैरह, जो हमारे polythenes हैं या they are of long chain of monomers, right? So these also these are not sustainable, these are not good for ecological balance, these are not biodegradable. So we are nowadays producing sustainable polymers. There is a development in the industry nowadays, and that is related to this. So these polymer coatings are used in various tribological protective coatings for erosion and corrosion protection. And if erosion or corrosion, they both are also a part of wear only. They are also a type of wear only. So they can be used for touch panel screens, hydrophobic coatings. Hydrophobic, as I said, water resistant हमारे phone आ रहे हैं आजकल. So there, that means the part is being coated. coating with some hydrophobic or hydrophilic materials that are being more repellent to moisture, that are being repellent to water, dirt, the other dusty particles, right? Then there comes the thin polymeric coatings also, and again the same situation is there, that material, if you want to increase its value, both aesthetically, that is decorative purpose, or the functionally means to increase its efficiency and efficacy for longer working hours, you have to use the coating part. So that was my presentation, and if we have any question, please we can discuss for that. I'm open to that. If there is any doubt or anything we need to discuss further. At the end, it's just that all the parts are machining components that are being used regularly, but these need to be coated. These need to have little small film over them so that it could improve their life, service life, the working life of any of the components. So, any queries from the participants or from
Thank you.
sir? Any?
Thank you very much, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, madam. Thank you very much for a nice presentation. Now I request the dear participants, please, if you have any query regarding the topic, please come ahead and discuss with madam. Dear participants, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Yeah. Good evening, Prashant, sir. Thank you, madam, for your presentation. It's a very new topic for me. I'm from the medical field, but definitely we're also using the coating materials for the tablets and the caps, various aspects.
Yes,
So
sir.
that
All the equipments we are definite. We are using sterilization process to get them dirt free or get them more infection free, right? That is also a
disinfectant.
type of coating only to get a new layer of
They're
protective
using some
surface.
disinfecting agents for the instruments also. That is also one kind of coating. And day-to-day life, we are using cars. So car also requires coatings. People are putting coatings on the car to save the color and the everything. So
Yes.
wonderful presentation. So it is a really part of our life and very close to our life. And if you see some instruments are there which are in a friction requires coating definitely, like pistons in the engines and the injectables what we are using, the piston, and over there also we are using piston. So all these things we have to recognize, because many of the times we take it granted that the things are happening by their own. No, but there is a science behind it, and the coating material today really it made an impact right on my this information. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Thank you.
Yes, dear participants. Again, who want to ask, please come, or we move forward. Please, sir. So, thank you, Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir, for appreciation. And every day you ask some questions, discuss very nicely. So, today's topic is new to us, that we're coating for specific tribological applications. So on this topic, ma'am have presented very well, no doubt, explain all those details regarding the topic. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Ambedkar, sir. Please come and have a concluding words for us. Please, sir.
Thank you, Prashant sir. And today's resource person, Dr. Jimmy Mehta madam, who is assistant professor at Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. All the participants, especially Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, Javir sir, Anita Dhole madam, KN Kadam, Professor KN Kadam sir, Hima Malini madam, and all the participants, those who are joining here daily. First of all, I should like to express sorry for the late. It's first time in our webinar series that we have started late because of the traffic problem. But still, the participants are joined satisfactory rows as daily they have joined. So few webinars, those who are scientific from this dais, today's webinar is one of them, because mostly we discuss social problems, economical problems, and other problems also, but scientific problems are some less. Today is a problem, means the topic depends upon the tribological applications. So as Dr. Swanand Shukla said, we have just watch all the presentation of madam. It was a best PPT with best examples, and also the need of the day where you are started from just a simple thing to robot. All things are required this tribological coating, how they can avoid the wear and tear and life of that equipment. So this is the very useful, because in every bike or in any equipment there is also use of this coating to avoid the frictions and to have a longer life of the equipment. So the research should be go in ahead in future, that because of this wear and tear, many metal elements are going to replace earlier. If there is a few hard coating there which avoid the friction without lubricant also or with lubricant also, it will give a longer life to that, and a part of longer use. Also you have said that the things which are sent abroad from India, they also covering the data of all these things. So all this scientific data is used for that, calculating the life of that equipment. And it was very new topic for me, because in the first time I am listening detail about this coating, it's important, all these things first time. In future also madam, you are welcome for new scientific topics on this dais. Also we recommend you to invite other your colleague, friends, contacts for joining here as a resource person. As you are the resource person, where you get link I don't know, but I am very happy that so much scientific problems are here discussed on this dais every day and more frequently. Thank you madam for joining here as a resource person.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for so much for the appreciation and applause. I would also say that this was my very first experience being as a resource person. I was a little bit nervous also, but again, then on the other side, I was confident about my topic, since I have been working in this area for so long. So I was a bit of that confident type, but thank you for so much of the gratitude here also you have shown, and I would definitely be a part of next series also, and I would love to give other presentations also on similar topics today, and I'll share this open webinar with other my colleagues, and they'll also be a part of it. Definitely.
Thank you,
Would
madam. Throughout
join
your
that.
webinar, you doesn't look that you are new for presentation, but you are very perfect in this field, and you presented the scientific every point aspect of that. In future also you will be invited for this. And you expressed all these things very perfectly. It's the webinar not only for assistant professor or scientist. Yesterday there was a research scholar madam, just she was a research scholar, so anyone can explain, anyone can present, those who are having knowledge and ability to and interest to say something what we have with us. So no qualification, no all these things required, but you presented very perfectly. In future also you can go ahead with the same track with very new and other field and webinar also. Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely, sir, definitely. Thank you.
Ma'am, just wait for formal vote of thanks.
Yeah.
So myself Prashant Ughade from Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa. I'm working in the college of the chief organizer of the World Record Series. So Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa is organized World Record Series 2. As we know that today's 104th day for the session, for the series, and Dr. Jimmy Mehta madam, which have talked about the topic quoting for specific tribological applications. Very nicely and confidently, madam. No doubt. You talked very confidently, explain all those things. I think it is a new for us. In any machine, there are lots of components, parts that operates by rubbing together, like bearings, gears, cams, tires, brakes, piston, all these things. And where we study in tribology that the friction, wear, lubrications, all these parts may cover in the topic. So, ma'am, you have explained so nicely. Ma'am, while expressing, you covered these points that surface coating technology, coating techniques, tribological applications, then revolution in tribology, then tribological coatings. And all those points you have covered in your lecture. So I'm very, very thankful to you. I express sincere gratitude towards you. You have given very valuable time to us and explained very nicely. Thank you, madam. Now I thanks to Honorable Principal M. Ambedkar, who is the Chief Organizer of the World Record Series 2. Then I thanks to my colleagues from my college, Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. K. N. Kadam sir, Dr. Karar sir, Dr. Sudhir Garar sir, and Vocational Supervisor Praveen Utke sir. And lastly, I should not forget all dear participants, attendees who join on the series regularly and enhance the beauty of our series and always motivates us. So thanks to you all. And now I declare that today's session is over. But before, I request to you all, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. So thank you very much, madam, for paying valuable time. We appreciate a lot your lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you so much, sir. Thank you.
You can leave now. Okay.